Good morning, people of the grid. It's Monday. The week has started. I've got a big Tesla car road trip today, and I'm going to be in Jasper, Alberta. So I'm going from Calgary to Jasper, Alberta. It's a long leg. There's one section from Canmore, which is where the last supercharger is, out to Jasper. It's about 322 kilometers. So that's a long one. I'm bringing the Canmore adapter just in case if I need it, because there is a place to charge out there. It's about a 20-minute detour to get to the charger, Canmore charge up, and then it makes the last leg about 220 kilometers, which is a lot easier to do. So I'll see what my range is like and what the mileage is like as I get there. I don't know if the roads are going to be snow covered or not, so I'll kind of get a feel for that on my way. So yeah, we'll see. This one could be dicey, but I think we'll be fine. So let's do a little road trip. All right, guys, my first bit of travel is going to be from Calgary. Dropped off all the kids, said goodbye to everybody, and now I'm on my way. So I'm going from Calgary. My first charging point is going to be in Canmore, which is just before the town of Banff. It's about 114 kilometers away from where I'm at now, and I've got plenty of range to get me there. I think what I'll do there at Canmore is take it pretty much to 100%, because that's where I want to see if I can make it all the way to Jasper, or if I'm going to detour over to, I think it's in Field, BC, to the Canmore charger there. So haven't decided yet. I'm thinking like the Canmore is the safer way to go, because there is a lot of mountain up. There's a lot of downs too, but the ups are going to affect range in a big way. So my first time doing it, we'll take it easy. We'll see what happens. Well, I'm here in Canmore, made it with tons of range. I'm gonna pop in, I'm gonna charge, go grab a breakfast here. And like I said, I'm gonna pretty much take it right up to full here. And then I'll make the decision if I need to stop kind of in the middle of the way there to charge up on Canmore, or if I wanna run the risk of climbing all these mountains with the range I have. We'll see. 6 degrees Celsius, no wind. Right now there's no snow, so we'll see. All right, leaving the car to charge here in Canmore, and I'm gonna go grab a bite to eat, and then I'll be on my way in about an hour and a half. We'll see. All right, guys, so making the call. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head over to, it's Field, BC. It's an hour from here. There's a visitor center there with a Canmore. I'm at 400 kilometers of range. The computer says I'll get there with 7% of range remaining, but I know it's going to tell me to slow down and do the speed limit and do under the speed limit, and I don't have enough buffer, I think. So instead of waiting here the extra half hour or 25 minutes it's going to take to fully go to 100%, I'm going to take that time, get over to the other charger, the Canmore, and then I'll throw some juice in there, and then I'll have plenty of range. I can power up the hills. I won't have to go slow at all, which is going to make for a much faster trip. So yeah, choosing time over distance. There we go. All right, I'm underway. I've turned on range mode. You know, the funny thing is I'm pretty confident that I could make it without going to the Canmore. Bit of a detour, but I need to get to Jasper at a certain time, and if I had a little more time to experiment and play, I would. Like I said, I'm sure I could make it, but if the charger is there, you may as well use it, and it will save me time. So that's the option I'm taking. Maybe on the way back when I have more time, maybe I'll cannonball run it and see what I can do there. But yeah, it's so nice out here. The mountains are beautiful. It's a clear sunny day. Hopefully no snow on the roads, and be a good drive. Well, it's looking really good, you guys. Like, it's showing I'm gonna arrive with 30% of rated range, which I know that's gonna drop, but that's built up a really good buffer from what I started at, which was 7%. I know there's one big hill, so now I'm more inclined to say, let's wing it. Let's forget that charge in the middle. Let's go for Jasper. Well, I got the Chatamo, so I could actually fall back if I needed to, so I'm gonna go for it. I think I'm gonna go for it. I think if I'm just doing the speed limit, I'm doing a touch over the speed limit, which out here you have to because there's animals, and it's just, it's a good idea. So, yeah, let's see if we can do the Canmore to Jasper run. And I didn't even charge to 100%. I charged to like 95-ish percent, 96%, so 95. Yeah, I think I'm good. When you're going uphill, it's very scary. It seems like, oh, it's gonna be tight, but then when you level off and you start going down, it corrects. This version, this view of the trip computer, the consumption view, it basically is looking kind of backwards for the past, in my case, 25 kilometers. It doesn't look forward so much. The other one, the trip computer, that's the one that looks forward, and that's the one that's saying, keep driving the way you are and you're going to arrive with 31 kilometers of rated range, or 31% of battery charge. So the trip computer is really the one to kind of pin your hopes on. The consumption computer, like I said, it's more backwards looking. The trip computer takes that into account and then projects forward. And it's also looking at the crowdsourcing of other people that have done this drive. What did they get? And then it just bases it on your speed, and it factors the hills in as well. So as long as you drive the speed limit, you're going to get pretty close to that 30%. So right now I'm driving the speed limit, and yeah, we'll see if we get there with 30. I think it's looking pretty good. This is what Tammy does all the time. I don't want to tell her that she might be right, so it's windy here. That is a glacier. It's a Columbia Icefield. This marker right here. Yeah, super windy out there, super cold. There's a marker right here where the glacier used to be back in 1890. It's receded, of course, a bit over the last 120, 30 years. So now it's a bit of a walk, but you can actually walk out onto the glacier. I'm not going to do that because it's too windy, it's too cold. I don't have the right, that's a weird Jeep. I don't have the right clothing, but this is beautiful. The car's doing great. I've got 103 kilometers to go. The battery says I've got 182, and the consumption computer is saying 126, while the trip computer says I'll make it still with 30%. So it's really hopeful. I don't think I'll make it with 30. I think it'll be like 20-ish, but right now it's saying 30, so it's looking good. The Canmore to Jasper drive, doable, totally doable. It's 1 degree Celsius, so even if it was colder with some snow on the road, if I had a full charge, it would be doable. So feeling pretty good about this drive so far. Well, that is looking really good, guys. I am going to make it, the computer says 31%. I did the speed limit all the way. I didn't deviate from that, and I'm making it with what it called. That is, I wouldn't have thought that. It is awesome. Won't be quite as good on the way back because this is a long sort of, I'm coming down a very long downslope. But even going back, I don't think I'll have any issues, providing I start with 100% instead of the 94 or 95 that I started with on this trip. So awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Wow, this place is nice. Okay, I'm gonna go park the car, get it charging up, and then come back to the room. All right, guys, I made it here. There's a Tesla plug-in right behind me. It's very close to my room, and it's a 32 amp Tesla, the HPWC, which is great. It's saying in about 8 hours-ish, I'm gonna be up to 90%. That is pretty sweet. I'm at the Jasper Park Lodge, the JPL. Got the light runner charging up on a 32 amp, 210 volt charge. I put my info in PlugShare, and I actually left a little card on the dash. I need about 8 hours and change to charge up to 90%. So I figure if somebody else needs it, I can move, because I'm here for the next 2 days. So I got lots of time to get up to 100%. So on the last day, the plan will be I'll just plug it in over there again and send it to 100 so that it's ready for when I'm ready to leave. Look at this place, it's beautiful. There were some elk walking around down there. I just saw some deer over here. It's a beautiful place. That lake that you saw, maybe I'll get it when I get back to the cabin. It's Lac Beauvert. Tammy and I did some scuba diving down there a long time ago when we first got certified. I can't believe it. This place is awesome. I've been to Jasper a couple of times with Tammy and the kids, but I've never been here, so this is a very nice place. All right, guys. Well, that's about a wrap for the trip to Jasper. Ooh, a little windy out here. We're gonna take this party inside. Okay, so made it out here. It was good. The things that I wanted to point out were, when you're doing a Tesla road trip like this, the two computer screens, I guess three. There's the front dash, which kind of gives you the indicator on the battery of what the car thinks it's got left. And then there's the two computers. There's the first one that kind of tells you, like I said earlier, what you've been getting, so far, how things have been going. And based on that, it gives you an estimate on how far it thinks you can go. And then on the flip screen of that is its estimate of how much you're going to arrive at as a battery percentage. Now that one is pretty accurate. If you drive the speed limit and do exactly what the car tells you, you should arrive with exactly that. The only time you wouldn't is if certain situations occur that the car can't predict. Things like wind, so if you're driving into wind, or if there's snow and slush on the road, that will have an impact of a few percentage points. But other than that, very accurate. It's interesting because when I was coming out here, that first screen, there were times where it was saying, yeah, you don't have enough range. Now it's guessing, right? It's always doing its analysis based on the last 25 kilometers or the last 50 or the last 100. It's just taking a guess. And sometimes it would say, you're barely going to make it. But then other times it would tell me, as I was going downhill, that I've got 999 kilometers left in the battery. Like unlimited range is what it would tell me that I had. And of course, we know that's not true. So you take that one with a grain of salt, but that battery percentage one is pretty key. I'm out here in Jasper. I'm going to enjoy the conference tomorrow and the day after, and then I've got a trip home, so I'll catch you guys up on that. While I'm here tomorrow, I'll see what I can get of some scenic shots. The place is beautiful. If you ever get a chance to come out here, do it. There's a place called the Miette Miette Hot Springs. Go there. There's a place that's like this lake that's only about 2 feet deep. You can walk for kilometers into this lake, and it's always 2 feet deep. It's freezing cold, but it's pretty cool. And it's Jasper. There's a lot of wild animals and a lot of cool things out here. Okay, thanks for hanging out with us. Catch up with you tomorrow. Mike here. Bye.